my name is Valorie Martin. I'm a physical therapist from the University of Kentucky, and we're here today at the Lexington Senior Center to demonstrate some exercises for you. So my hope is that you'll watch this video, do exercises along with us. I'm very thankful to my two volunteers that were so gracious to come and demonstrate the exercises for me. So the first exercise that we're gonna do is a shoulder or upper body exercise, and it's called shoulder retraction. And so you can either do this exercise in sitting or you can do it standing. So I'm gonna have, if one of you all ladies don't mind to stand up for me, so we'll kind of demonstrate it both ways. You're gonna start with good posture. You're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades together, keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. Imagine that somebody has placed a finger right between your shoulder blades and you're just gonna squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then you're gonna relax. And so as you do this, I want you to think about making sure that you're not arching your back. It's not a big motion. You should just feel those muscles right between your shoulder blades kind of pinched together. Good, and you can relax now. So when you do this at home, I encourage you to do this for 30 seconds. You can start with one set, and then as you get better or it gets easier, you can move to 2 sets of 30 seconds. So the next exercise we're gonna do is also an upper body strengthening exercise. So you can, again, do this from a seated position or from a standing position. So you're just going to start with your arms down by your side, hands facing in towards your body, thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling as you raise your arms up, kind of at a diagonal. So almost imagine that you are making a V with the opening out from you. And you're gonna raise your arms overhead and then back to your side. If you have any shoulder pain or discomfort, just go within whatever range you can comfortably do this. That may mean that you can't get to shoulder level, and that's perfectly okay. If you can go all the way overhead, that's okay too. You ladies can go ahead and take a break. When you do this, I would encourage you to do it for 30 seconds. At least initially. You can do it just with the weight of your arms. That's perfectly acceptable. If you want to add some weight, you can add some light dumbbells, or you can use bottles of water just to add a little bit of weight. I wouldn't do anything super heavy, and if you haven't been doing any exercise, please start with just your arms without the weight at first. So now that we've finished the upper body strengthening exercises, we're gonna move on to an upper body stretching exercise. And so what I'm gonna have you ladies do is, if you will reach your hands behind you and clasp your hands, and Cheryl, if you don't mind, I'm gonna have you go ahead and swing your legs this direction so they can see you from the side. Perfect. You're gonna push your hands down towards the floor, kind of lengthening your arms, keeping your elbows straight. And then if you need a little bit more of a stretch, you can kind of lift your hands away from your back. Now when you're doing this stretch, I'm gonna have you do 3 sets of 30 seconds. Make sure that you're breathing as you do the stretch. A lot of times people have a tendency to wanna hold their breath, so you wanna make sure you're breathing in and out slowly. That helps to relax your muscle, which will allow you to get a better stretch. Perfect. Now we're gonna move on to lower body strengthening exercises. And so again, we can do this either seated or standing. And so I'm gonna have you start to just march in place. And so when you're seated, you're just gonna lift one knee up and then the other. Perfect. And when you're standing, you can do the same thing. Now, if you want to do it standing, but you feel like your balance is a little bit of an issue, you could always do this standing close to a countertop or with the back of a chair in front of you so that you have something to hold on to. You can also vary the how high you're raising your knee. So if it's too difficult to raise your knee to hip level, that's totally okay. You can just lift it a little bit off the floor. All right, you girls can go ahead and relax. Good job. So we're gonna go on to the next lower body strengthening exercise, which is sit to stand. So you can go ahead and have a seat. So when you're doing this at home, I prefer that if you're using a chair, that you actually position the chair so that it's back against the wall so it's not gonna slip. You have the option of doing it with a chair with armrests, which will allow you to use the armrest if you need to kind of assist you with getting up out of the chair, or you can do it with a chair without armrests. You can even do it at the edge of the bed. That's a little bit higher, so it make it a little bit easier. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with your feet about shoulder width apart. You're gonna lean forward, so bring your shoulders and your head forward as you go ahead and lift your hips up out of the chair and go ahead and stand. And then you're just gonna sit back down. I'm gonna have you continue to do that. And so at home, you'll do this for a minute. Starting out with one set, you can progress to 2 sets as you get stronger and it gets a little bit easier. You all can go ahead and just rest there. So this is an exercise that I feel like is really important for everybody to practice. 1, it's something that we need to do every day. And 2, it's a great lower body strengthening exercise. Plus, it gets your heart rate going just a little bit, so it also can be a little bit of a cardiovascular exercise. So now we've finished the lower body strengthening exercises, we're gonna move on to a lower body stretch. And so this stretch is going to stretch out the hip flexor and the quad, which is the big muscle that runs down the front of the leg. I'm gonna show you 2 different options. So Tee's gonna show us using a step stool. So you can place 1 foot on the step. You want to think about tucking your hips under so that you're getting a stretch down the right front part of your leg there. And then I'm gonna have Cheryl show us in sitting. So I'm gonna have you, if you just scoot kind of to the edge of your seat so that that left leg is free, you're gonna tuck that leg back, good. And so again, she's getting that muscle in a lengthened position, and so she should feel a stretch down the left front part of her leg. So with these stretches, you're gonna hold for 30 seconds, and then you're gonna take a break. You can switch legs. You're gonna do 3 sets of 30 seconds on each leg. You can go ahead and relax. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today and to do these exercises. I encourage you to continue to do these exercises or other exercises. Movement is so good. It's good for our bodies, it's good for our mood, it's good for our mind. And so 5 times a week is a great goal for movement. And Tee and Cheryl, thank you so much for being with me today to demonstrate the exercises.